play. I'm Kevin. I play drums.
I'm Tori. I play violin, keyboards, and I sing.
I'm Adam. I sing, I play guitar, and sometimes I play piano.
I'm John, and I play guitar.
Our bass player Rob is inside, staying warm.
We're actually named after a Silverchair song. They have a song called Those Thieving Birds, and most people think of Silverchair as this like one-hit wonder 15-year-old grunge band, but I ended up staying a fan of theirs for years, and they're one of the most creative, amazing rock bands to ever exist. They're massive still in Australia, one of the most successful bands in the history of the country, and they had a song called Those Thieving Birds on their last record, and I had a friend who had a song called Flight of the Mockingbird, and he was like, oh, my real last name is Bird, so I just kind of tied the whole thing together. I tend to write what is kind of the blueprint of each song, the general chord changes and the melody, and then I bring it into the band, and
It gets all sorts of messed up.
yeah, everybody contributes for sure on their own instrument, and sometimes somebody's part will change the song so much that it is nothing like when I first wrote it. So it's a pretty collaborative process. I guess I do the embryo, but other than that, we collaborate quite a bit. With the new record we're about to put out, there's at least 3 songs that it was just like I had just written a song, so I would like jam on the riff at practice just to kind of like do it, and then like Kevin might join in on drums or John on guitar, Rob on bass, whatever, and we would just like run with it, and within an hour we'd have a song.
I lied to get, and he wanted a keyboard player, and I lied and said I play keyboard. You know, I do now. I showed up with the violin, and that's what happened. So here I am.
She lied, as she just told you, but it turned out that like it adds this unique spin, because most bands, and you know, I'm sure I'm wrong about this in some manner, but most bands that have violin tend to not be as aggressive as we are musically. So we end up using the violin in a way that like I really, not in like some conceited way, I just can't think of any other bands that use the violin like we do. You know, she treats it like another guitar, you know, and pedals, running through tons of pedals and stuff, and treats it like a lead guitar. So it's like we have, almost like we have 2 lead guitarists between John and Tori.
I think people react to it visually, probably, you know, because most of the times when you see a rock band play, the last thing you'd expect on stage is a violin. So
by a short little girl who looks like Shirley Temple.
Sure. So I think visually that's probably the first thing that people, that's kind of shocking or sort of like, wait, something's not right. That doesn't make sense. But we make it work for us. We've incorporated that into our sound, I think, and we've kind of. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it contributes to every single show. Somebody comes up to us afterwards and says, "I haven't ever heard a band like you guys," and I think a huge chunk, if not most of the chunk of that, is touring.
So I'm thinking that we could probably coin a new genre, maybe classy rock.
Classy
I'm
rock.
quoting you guys on this later. I'm just telling you. So.
Yeah, so we have a new record coming out, and we recorded it over the course of about a month. We lived in New Hampshire at a studio in Portsmouth, and Portsmouth is probably the nicest town in the entire Northeast. I mean, like, the roads are all brick, and
They're golden brick.
Yeah.
It's much like the Wizard of Oz.
everybody owns a boat in the town. It's the one little section of New Hampshire that's on the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Everybody smiles at you and like says hello.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's really
That's
weird.
really weird.
It's an incredible little town that we happened to find on tour once, and we loved it. And then when we were looking for a producer, the guy we ended up going with, we didn't even know he lived there, but he lived there, and his studio was there, and we were just like, holy shit, we're gonna live in Portsmouth. And it played a big part in letting us kind of get away from everything we knew and just focus on this record. And we wrote it over the course of the last year while touring for our last EP, which was called Phillstock. Generally, I guess the only other information about the record that I could really nail to you is that there's a lot of mentions of the devil and hell, and about a female character named Penny. And the whole thing kind of goes through her eyes and her experience with meeting the devil. It's not a concept record, but maybe loosely in some ways it is. Our website is thosemockingbirds.com. You can find us on Facebook, Facebook/thosemockingbirds. Or our website actually is a hub for all of our social stuff, so you just see the links right there on our site. Who else? Some of our friends we should definitely name. Brick and Mortar.
Some friends, yeah.
River City Extension.
River City Extension.
World Inferno.
World Inferno Friendship Society. Who else we got? I know we're friends with other bands.
Yeah, shit.
Well, this could be a very long list. We might hurt people's feelings.
Well, we'll say the Tiny Giant Artist Collective is
There you
also
go.
another
There we
big
go.
one that we play a big part in a collective of artists in New Jersey called Tiny Giant.
McCartney.
We're friends with Paul McCartney.
Yeah, he's said to say hey.
Yeah, Paul was asking that we would mention him.
Yeah.
So doesn't get enough press. That guy, underrated. Yeah, there you go.
Still waiting to be knighted.
It makes a mean cup of tea, though. You know.
Probably.
Lots of new stuff coming up. Just check the website. Stay updated.
Yep.
It's all in the works. It's all in the works.